Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
Migrant encounters, they topped Bill 190,000 people
there's a
in December.
selfie.
Well, tonight, the nation's intelligence agencies are warning of cyber threats from Russia and are urging U.S. critical infrastructure defenses to be reinforced.
When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population,
pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, the COVID-19 crisis would be seen as a small disturbance in comparison.
Disclaimer. Everything you see or hear in this video is totally fiction. Okay, it's absolutely for entertainment purposes only. So enjoy. Anyway, moving forward, guys. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. That Outdoorsman's back. As far as that little disclaimer goes, I feel for what it's worth, I should leave that at the beginning of every one of my videos. And again, I say for what it's worth because, you know, in this police state that we live in nowadays, it's not worth too much anymore. And what's that? That's free speech. Because it's pretty much flatlined nowadays. There's free speech is dead. I digress. Moving forward, I watched some clips of this speech that former Vice President Joseph Robinette Biden gave last night. I guess he's kicking off his campaign trail here for re-election, reinstallation, whatever you want to call it. And folks, it looks like he's picking up right where he left off with that Independence Hall speech back in September 2023, and he flat out said that MAGA Republicans threaten democracy. Pretty much what you see in my opening credits of my intro video. It's picking up right where he left off, right? He is demonizing 80 plus million Americans, calling them extremists, calling them saying that white supremacy is the biggest national security threat in this country. Yeah, I got some questions about this whole thing and this whole motive and rhetoric coming out of, I'll call the lunatic left. My first question might be stupid, but then again, I've always been told I have an interesting learning curve. So maybe I'm a little bit slow and behind. So maybe you all can help me out in the comments. But what is exactly a MAGA Republican? Because I never really heard of that term being used prior to 2016. You know, I mean, I know what MAGA stands for, Make America Great Again. And I guess there's like MAGA Republicans and straight up Republicans. And then you got rhinos. I mean, I can't keep up with it. But we'll just stick to the MAGA Republican part. So basically, a MAGA Republican, from what I'm interpreting, is anybody who voted for Donald Trump. Alright? So anybody who voted for Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. And if they're white, they are a threat to national security. Got it. Alright. Want to make sure we're all on the same page here. Well, folks, I guess by their logic, perhaps I'm an extremist. Is that what I'm picking up from that? Because I mean, I voted for Donald Trump 2 times, and if he gets nominated again, I'm gonna vote for him for a 3rd time. So what's that make me? All right, because the last time I checked, folks, I'm just a normal, everyday guy. All right. I wake up every day. I go to work. I work 60 hours a week. Sometimes more than I should. But I do it all to provide for my family. All right, and then I come home to my family after work. All right. My circle of people that I keep around me is very small. And it's basically just my family. I have a couple people in my life that I call actual friends. You know, I pay my taxes, pay my bills. I don't break the law. I'm a law-abiding family man. However, people will look at me and say, no, you're not. You're a fucking domestic terrorist, dude. All because of who I vote for. And I'll say this now, excuse the language. I mean, this channel's not for everybody. Alright, this is my channel. I say it like it is, and I will never change my ways. So, again, this channel is not for everybody. If you don't want to keep watching, and if you don't like hearing bad words, this channel is not for you. With that said, moving forward. So now we have former Vice President Joseph Biden demonizing 80 plus million Americans. And I'm just trying to understand the motive, like, because we're not only hear it from him, we hear it from who else? That fucking mouthpiece. What's the mouthpiece, Matt? That's the MSM, folks. That's the mainstream media. I call it the mouthpiece of the liberal lunatic left. Okay? Because that's all that is nowadays. I don't take them seriously. I listen to what they have to say because, you know, I like to pay attention to what that side's saying. Folks, in my opinion, they talk about this two-party system here in this country, Republicans and Democrats. The way I look at it, the way society's going nowadays, it's either Americanism or communism. There ain't no in-betweens anymore. You either love your country, you love your Constitution, or you hate your country and you want to shred the Constitution. No in-betweens. And the fascinating thing about this whole thing, folks, is this. What side is kicking presidential candidates off the ballot? What side is indicting former U.S. presidents for asking questions about an election? Not the side of the Americans. Now I'm going to take it a step further. We had this Uno 6 double deuce 1 event occur that supposedly was worse than Pearl Harbor. Shit, it was worse than 9/11. I mean, I lived through 9/11. I remember that day. What an awful fucking day that was. And anybody that's lived through 9/11, you're picking up what I'm putting down on that. One of the most darkest days of this country. But Uno 6 double deuce 1 by the liberal lunatic standards was a lot worse. So just to touch on that a little bit, you know, they're calling it what? The insert, what's it called? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Here's the deal with that whole thing, folks. I mean, we had what, probably tens of thousands of folks show up to that event that day. Right? Perfect. Now let's look at the types of folks that were in that crowd. Besides, you know, the Alphabet Club and Antifa, besides those folks, like the real Americans that were there, who were they? Well, let me take a stab at it. I mean, I wasn't there. But I'm going to take a wild guess and just say that the vast majority of those folks that were there were veterans, maybe current service members, law enforcement, AR-15 owners. I said a nasty word here on FoodTube. And hunters, and probably, you know, just conservatives, right? So if you had all those gun owners, because that's the common denominator of that group. If you had all those gun owners, tens of thousands of them, at that event, how come no shots were fired? How come I didn't see any weapons? Because what I saw was a bunch of pissed off people that broke some windows. Some of them fought with Capitol Police. Okay? And they don't get no passes on that. Not saying that's okay. And then the rest of the folks, they were let inside. They walked around for a few hours. They took some selfies. Sat down at a couple pedophiles' desks. And then they left. They left. And they're calling that, the liberal lunatics are calling that one of the worst events, or worse than Pearl Harbor 9/11. And their mouthpiece, again, the MSM, that's what they're telling the people. That actually still believe the MSM and trust the MSM, which, if you do, you're a straight up fucking moron. Just saying. So the way I look at it, us Americans are not the threat to the soul of this country. We are not a threat to democracy. And white supremacy, folks, certainly isn't the biggest threat to national security. Give me a fucking break. We don't even have a southern border. We got record amounts of illegal immigrants infiltrating this country on a monthly basis. More than we've ever seen in the history of this country. Just walking on through. I mean, shit, you got the federal government that's suing the state of Texas. Because the state of Texas is actually, finally, following the law and restricting these immigrants, these illegals, from coming in. And you got the feds under former Vice President Joseph Robinette Biden basically telling Texas, the state of Texas, they can't do that. This is where we're at, folks. But yet, I'm an extremist. Got it. I'm gonna say something else here, folks. In my view, these liberal fucking nut jobs, they want people like me to rise up. People like me that get up and go to work every day, provide for my family, pay my taxes, pay my bills, keep to myself, and obey the law. They want us to rise up. Alright? It's a provocation. And if you can't see that, you're a fucking moron. Okay? Just gonna say it. But here's the thing, folks. I ain't taking that bait. Because that's what it is. It's bait. And neither should you. Well, man, you might ask, how the hell do we fight this? How do we fight back? Folks, there's really no simple answer to that. But you can start off by fucking talking about it, just like I am today. Talk about it. Expose these fucking tyrants for who they are and for what they are. Right? Because they're a bunch of fucking pedophiles. Right? They are. I mean, there's a president on their side, right? That likes to touch little kids, right? Wild Bill, right? And he did other things that I can't stomach to fucking say it to these little kids. You know, and all I picture is the 3 girls and my grandson. So basically, we got a bunch of fucking pedophiles running our country. And from what I'm seeing, there's pretty much a bunch of pedophiles that are ruining this planet. From what I see coming out with that whole Epstein thing. Now, I ain't gonna take the bait, folks. I don't want no civil war, and I know a lot of people are calling for one. They say that's the only answer, that we should rise up. Fight. Nah, not like that. Like I said, I got a family at home. I don't want my kids growing up in a society where they're going to be starving to death because the supply chains are shut off. I mean, my kids ain't starving. This is a prepping channel. But the vast majority of people will starve. Because you think everything's going to keep going the way it is? Think the internet's going to be up and you're going to post your little fucking stupid statuses up on your Instagrams and your Facebooks and all that? Make your TikTok videos? No, the internet's going to be down. Supply chains will stop. Utilities will get shut off. People will freeze to death. That's not the kind of country I want my kids growing up in. So I am not calling for that. Folks, the biggest threat to a tyrant is exposing a tyrant. Once people come together, the tyrant loses power. Right? That's why you see a lot of people getting censored and people getting punished for speaking up. Right? You see it all over the place. In all walks of life. Right? You're seeing what's happening to a former president who's being persecuted for basically speaking up. Right? That's all I'm gonna say about that. Hence my disclaimer. But anyway. Shut up. The point is here, folks, is exactly that. You have to tactfully speak up. You want a revolution? Make it a political revolution. Because there are still Americans that are in our government, that run our government, that want to see this country survive. Right? Because right now our country's fucking crumbling. Right? So create a revolution by a political revolution. Take it to the ballot box. And let's see if we can vote our way out of this. I'm being hopefully optimistic here. Anyway, folks, I'll close with this. Don't take the bait. Use your heads, okay? Because they do. They want us to rise up. They want to say, see, look, ag Republicans, they're bad. Told you so. No. We're not the threat, motherfucker. You pedophiles are the threat. You're the ones that are fucking communists. You and your dirty laws that you fucking create. Your dirty policies that you fucking come up with. I'm 45 years old. Like I said, I grew up in the 1980s and 90s. Alright? The America I grew up in, folks, isn't like 2024 America today. Not by a long shot. Matter of fact, the America I grew up in would fucking invade today's America. Why would that happen? Because we used to go after fucking countries like that, folks. We used to go after countries that ran under tyrannical rule and oppressed their people. Just saying. Anyway, folks, Matter broadcast Monday nights, 9 p.m. We will be back to that. All right, it's been a while. Getting back on a horse. So join me Monday nights, 9 p.m. for the Matt broadcast. Thanks for watching.